Hi, my name is Shareeah, and I own. What set the tone around my adult life for sexuality was the lack of sharing about sexuality in my family. My father had a stack of pornographic magazines that I found when I was about 10 years old, but it was hidden and it was tucked away in the corner, and no one ever talked about that. My mother didn't have a sex life at all that I knew about, and it was nothing that was ever discussed in our family. So we kept everything under wraps and hidden. So I started to feel shame early on that this attraction that I had towards physical bodies was not appropriate. As I grew into adulthood, I still found the attraction there. And so that became one of my main sources of satisfying my sexual desires. But it was very hidden, just like my father's porn was hidden. And I felt a lot of shame around even looking at those pornographic images or looking at porn. I felt like I was locked in a war between my sexuality, my desire, my body, and what was appropriate. It was tormenting. I actually called it like my own personal hell. It felt awful to have a desire for sex and connection, and then to be able to get it in a way that still wasn't fulfilling at all. When I found out about it felt like freedom. Freedom that I could actually have the pleasure and the touch that I have been longing for, but not be locked inside of a war with myself and my body. The aspect of that was most impactful for me was the container. The container allowed me to come to the and feel safe entering into an experience that both myself and the stroker agreed with. There were no questions about what would happen in the container, and so I could relax and feel safe and let go. Has transformed my life. I was pretty much a recluse and I didn't really have a lot of friends. Coming into a community that is so open and so warm and welcoming, where connection is at the heart of everything we do, it's like finding the family that I've always longed for. And I realize that I'm actually not alone. I realize I'm not so different from everybody else, that we all want this connection. And has brought that to my life. My name is Shareeah, and I own.